future President Barack Obama. She would back him all the way to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, including becoming his first-term Secretary of State.
Hello, hey!
Word about town is that she is indeed ready to get back up and run again. What are some of the lessons Hillary Clinton will have learned from her failed 2008 campaign, things that she will not want to repeat this time around?
I think she's been doing it for 20 years, right? I mean, I think this has been the plan for a very long time, and I don't think she's someone who gives up easily. And I think she's making a considered calculation that she has as good a chance as anyone, and that, she can't afford to wait any longer, I don't think.
Professor Blatt is an expert in American political thought, particularly how gender, race and class interact with public policy, and believes Clinton will have to do a few things differently second time around.
She got criticized for having it be all about her, right? I think she stressed the sort of, the historic nature of her campaign, the sense of inevitability. I think there was a sense of inevitability last time. I think that hurt her. I think she wants to avoid that, which is going to be hard because she doesn't really have a challenger. But, I think she wants to make the impression that it's about the voters, right? It's about what she can do for Americans and not about, sort of her trajectory in her historic campaign, which, will be hard.
Senators Ted Cruz and Rand Paul have both announced their entry into the race, part of what is likely to be a populated Republican field. As yet, there have been whimpers but no substantive indications as to who will run against Clinton for the Democratic nod. Will she be a vastly different president to the one she succeeds?
No. Their policies were hard to distinguish in 2008. They haven't gotten any easier to distinguish. Again, I think a little bit more of a hawkishness on foreign policy is her probably biggest distinguishing factor. But, you don't get any more kind of establishment than Hillary Clinton. She's not going to transform things, right? She's not coming from the outside. Obama could at least make the claim to be someone who was coming from the outside and was going to be a transformative president, and that was certainly his ambition. She doesn't have that claim to make.
And while domestic issues are expected to dominate the election, the economy, jobs, immigration and the country's social welfare system, Clinton's almost 40 years in public office make her fair game for her opponents.
That she's power hungry, that she's detached, that she's the establishment, that she is, been sort of spending her entire life scheming to become president, and that she doesn't really stand for anything, which, they may have a point. I don't think it's going to be that hard to make that stick with their base.
Historically, it's difficult for one party to retain the White House after serving 2 terms, but it does happen. Most recently when George H.W. Bush replaced Ronald Reagan in 1988. Clinton's gender would make victory in 2016 that much more historic. But with 18 months to go until voting day, in politics, that's considered a lifetime. Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.